Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. On today's program, we'll chat with Al Bina from the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum. First, though, we check news for you. Currently in Quincy, an arrest is expected soon in connection with Friday night's fatal stabbing. Police say a suspect has been identified for the killing of 24-year-old Cameron Nomi from Quincy. Nomi was stabbed during a brief altercation in the parking lot at Hancock and Woodbine Streets in Wollaston and died a short time later at Boston Medical Center. Nomi graduated Milton High School in 2015. No injuries in a three-alarm house fire in Quincy Saturday afternoon. That blaze heavily damaged the three-family home on Roslyn Avenue on Hospital Hill. All the occupants escaped safely, and 8 pets were rescued from that home. The cause remains under investigation. Father Bill's homeless shelter in Quincy will be moving across the street to a building that the city purchased recently. City Council has agreed to lease the building at 39 Broad Street to Father Bill's for 99 years at a cost of $1 per year. Father Bill's director, John Yazwinski, says that long-term lease is crucial to their plans to create a new shelter.
Then it's got to be a 99-year lease or we just can't move. Because the federal and state government, especially Department of Housing at the state level, are not going to finance and give us the money to build this property without a long-term lease. And when you look at all the restrictions and covenants of low-income housing tax credits, new market tax credits, the housing innovation bonds, all the funding sources that we're going to go after to be able to accommodate the city and move across the street and build a new facility that we're very excited about, then the threshold is 99 years. And that's pretty common standard practice in the industry of affordable housing. If they want perpetuity, they say we want ownership. If Father Bill's does not get ownership of 39, we are fine with leasing it, which has been offered to us by the city. But then it's got to be a 99-year lease, or we do not have a appropriate project to get financed and funded by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Yazwinski hopes to develop a 75-bed emergency shelter and 30 apartments to provide long-term housing for the chronically homeless. That new facility would cost $20 million. Yazwinski says they're working to raise funds for the new shelter and also for a temporary shelter once they're forced to move due to plans for a new Quincy police station. Quincy police are searching for a porch pirate. Surveillance video from a home on Whitwell Street captured a suspect with a dog on a leash stealing packages on the evening of September 5th. That suspect is seen walking east toward Cranch Street after taking the packages. Anybody with any information is asked to contact Quincy police. 2 people have been charged with selling methamphetamine and other drugs from their hotel room at the Holiday Inn Express on Arlington Street in North Quincy recently. 43-year-old James Barnhill and 34-year-old Jessica Downey, both of Quincy, are facing drug trafficking charges after police seized drugs, scales, and a BB gun from their room when management reported some suspicious activity. Seawall improvements continue in the Adams Shore and Howe's Neck sections of Quincy. Demolition work is taking place on Shelton and Turn Roads, and helical installation is taking place behind C Street, and leveling pad form work and concrete placement is happening from Post Island Road towards Heron Road. Seawalls are being raised 2 feet in an effort to protect that area from future flooding. Coming up, we have a chat with Al Bina of the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum. That's next.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor.
Artist.
Bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus.
We're checking in with Al Bina from the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum, who we haven't seen in quite a while due to the pandemic that's going on. But Al, it's so nice to virtually see you. How are you?
Joe, it's great to be with you. As I always say, when we come into the studio, it's great to be with you, Yeah, I've been fine. Like I say, we've been kind of laying low here. The museum, naturally, we couldn't have opened the museum due to all the corona restrictions. And we haven't been doing too much other than just doing a lot of computer work, catching up on some of the stories we dug out of the old newspapers. We're trying to organize things, let's put it that way.
Yeah, have you been able to talk to the members of the museum at all throughout this whole time?
Yeah, I've been in contact with, most of the members that are really active in the museum that, that are doing, like, I call it research, you know what I mean? This is a great time for them. Our historian, Tom Bonomi, has been unbelievable. He's been digging up more stories from all these old newspapers that now are actually online at a lot of these museums around the country.
Oh, yeah, there's just so much information that's available now. And like you say, everybody has a little more time on their hands, so put it to good use, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And, the thing is, we haven't been able to do anything. We haven't been able to do any of our walks. We used to do a Bunker Hill Quarry walk. We used to do the Granite Rail walk a couple of times a year. The Lions Churning Mill, we used to do that 4 or 5 times a year. Stone splitting we used to do. We couldn't do any of that. Hopefully now I want to say maybe we're starting to be on the kind of the tail end of it now, you know what I mean? But we are opening the museum up not this weekend, but next weekend. I think it's the 19th and gotta look at my book here. Yeah, the 19th and the 20th of September, we're going to be opening the museum. We got all the arrows and the directional flows and everything required by the state, So we're going to try to open it up not this weekend, next weekend. We're going to have a nice walk around the Lions Churning Mill. What we've done is we've actually blown up quarry pictures, 24 by 36. So they're pretty good sized pictures. We'll be putting them on easels, and we're going to place them all around the churning mill at different stops. So the people will be able to come in, start a tour around the mill, and as they're touring around the mill, they'll be able to stop and look at these historic granite pictures and all the interpretive information we have right on the picture itself too. So it should be good. And like I say, we'll keep the social distancing and we'll do all the things that are required on the opening of the museum. The one fortunate thing we got, Joe, is we're basically outdoors, so we don't have a lot more of the restrictions that might be on like a museum that's closed. So that's kind of to our advantage. We're kind of in the open air up there. But we are opening the museum also, but we're limiting it to 3 people at a time in the museum because it is fairly small. So if they keep their social distancing, we got all the arrows, we got all the information. If they keep their 6-foot distance, there'll be no problem with 3 people in there. We got both doors open now. We've opened the emergency door, the exit door, and we got the main door open. So there'll be plenty of ventilation through there. So like I say, people will be able to tour the mill, watch, look at some of the historic pictures we're going to have around there. and also they'll be able, if they want to, actually come in and tour the museum. Again, it'll be on a limited basis. We're not only going to allow 3 people at a time in there, but it should move along pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's great to be able to open up again. We're seeing, I mean, even the Museum of Fine Arts is not just open yet. They're just planning to open now too. So, I mean, you're not the only museum that's had to, pull back because of this whole time. So it's nice to be able, I'm sure, to open up to the public again.
Yeah, I talking to Bob Damon, and he's kind of enthusiastic about us opening it up. For even if we just open it up 2 or 3 weekends a month, But it's amazing, Joe. People just want to get out and do things. They've been stuck in the house all the time. Funny little story. I'll tell you a quick little funny little story. Yesterday, Tom Bonomi was up at the turning mill, and he goes up there periodically, checks things, looks around, make sure everything's all right. He was in the turning mill, and a couple drove up in a car. It was an Asian couple, and the fella got out of the car, and he saw the gate was open. He's coming. He asked Tom. He says, "Gee," says, "can I come in and take some pictures?" And Tom said, "Well, yeah, sure, you can. I'm here. You're welcome to come in." He said, "Oh no," he said, I want my wife to play her viola and take some pictures of her playing it in the mill." And Tom says, "Sure." So come to find out, his wife wasn't with him, so he had to go home and get her viola. They come back to the turning mill with a chair. He sat the chair down in the middle of the turning mill. In fact, he had a drone, and he had about 3 cameras, Tom said, and she was there playing her viola, and he was flying his drone around taking pictures of her playing the viola in the middle of the turning mill. So it seems like people just want to get out and do things, But I mean, that was kind of when Tom told me that, I says, "Gee, that's unbelievable." He says, "Well, every time I stop by there," he says, "people stop and want to come in." He says, "Because they got nothing else to do."
Yeah.
So we're glad we're going to be open like that,
That's a great story, and it just, I'm sure it makes you guys feel good to know that you're missed, while you're closed.
Yeah. Like I say, you never know what you're going to run into at the turning mill.
Yeah. And has it had an impact on the finances, Al? I know that you depend completely on donations. How's that standing up?
Well, like I say, we're kind of strapped right now, but I mean, we're still maintaining our electric light, our phone. We're still maintaining the bills that come in like that, So we're head is a little above water. We haven't gone underneath yet, but so I mean, I think we're surviving. Let's put it that way. But it's been a strain. All these museums, whether it's a restaurant or whether it's a museum, everybody's kind of in a strain right now. So hopefully, like I say, we're coming toward the end of it. And I don't know if we're coming to the end of it, but we're able to do a little more things now, a few more things, to get some people up there. And it'll help us out.
Yeah, well, Quincy's in a pretty good spot, thankfully, with the virus. It seems to be under control, and kids are going to be going back to school soon. I know that kids groups are a big part of what you do at the museum. Do you anticipate maybe being able to get some of them back?
Oh, yeah, we'd definitely love to get some back. Like I say, as soon as this is the first time we've opened up since the corona really hit, so we're going to see how it goes. And I don't think there'll be any problems. We only advertised really on the Quincy Sun this time because we didn't want to open it up to Facebook and Nextdoor because we want to keep it to a smaller group, maybe a Quincy group, just see how things go and maybe iron out any of the little problems we might have, and then we'll kind of open it up to the greater community, beyond Quincy.
Sure.
So we're kind of sticking to Quincy. And along with QATV and the Quincy Sun, we'll kind of keep it local right now.
Yep.
Just see how,
Sure. I'm guessing folks are going to have to wear their face masks, right, and sanitize their hands, all those things.
Oh yeah, there'll be definitely face masks. We'll have to have. It's required they wear their face masks, keep their distancing. But as far as sanitizing, nobody's going to really touch anything, really, because we're outdoors. They're not going to be touching the pictures, but we do have hand sanitizer, and we do have sanitizer spray that we, if somebody does touch something, we can always clean it up.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
desanitize it,
Yep.
But we've got everything in place according to the state guidelines, because we don't want the governor to show up and say, gee, you're adhering to all my guidelines, So we have got all the guidelines covered. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't think the governor's going to show up, but
No, not this time.
who knows? The mayor might, but not the governor.
Yeah. Well, of course, October is Archaeology Month, right? I know you usually plan a big event around that.
Yeah, right. We are planning. Again, if this goes smooth, we'll definitely Archaeology Month in October. We'll definitely open it up, maybe 2 or 3 weekends, just to give people something to do during Archaeology Month.
Sure.
So yeah, we are planning to do something in Archaeology Month. Basically, it'll be the same as we're doing. The 19th and the 19th and the 20th?
Yep. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. Yep.
Saturday and a Sunday, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Go ahead, Al.
I say we will be doing something definitely for Archaeology Month.
Super. I'm just curious, with folks having more time on their hands, if they were cleaning out their basements and their attics and their sheds, did they find any more artifacts that they let you know about?
I haven't heard anything, but I'll definitely would love to get some more artifacts that have been laying around in either the cellars or the attics, and that's a good point. I never thought of that, Joe, but people might be in the cleaning out mood, so we're definitely here, or we'll accept any artifacts related to the granite industry that we can get.
Okay, good.
Good point.
Yeah, I just, so many people are doing these, house cleanings now because they have all this time on their hands, so they may come across some things. And I was struck too, Al, by the fact that the last pandemic, over 100 years ago, the granite industry was in full swing at that point. So those folks that were in the industry at that time had to deal with a pandemic.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, And again, that's one little part of the history that we never really focused on, We never even thought about the pandemic back then, because it definitely must have affected the granite industry too. Be interesting, again, you see, the thing is we start going down all these different roads and we pick up these different subjects that we really should research, That's a very good point. Thanks for bringing it up, Joe.
Just giving Tom Bonomi some more homework to do, right?
Some more homework. He'd definitely dig up something on it, I tell you.
I am sure. Okay, so again, for the 19th and the 20th, what are the hours, Al?
10 to 3.
10 to 3. Okay, very good.
10 to 3, And we're there usually, if there's somebody hanging around me, we're usually there after 3, but we're setting those hours 10 to 3.
Okay, and obviously it has to be weather dependent, right?
Weather dependent, yes. In fact, I did note that, if it were raining either day, we'd have to postpone it to another day.
Sure. Let's hope it doesn't. I think it'd be.
Let's hope, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a nice break for members of the museum and for the public too to get back into it, get outside and learn something about the museum and the history of the industry too.
And one other point, we'll be selling T-shirts that day too. So I kind of focused on that too. That will definitely help our financial situation. If anybody would love to buy a T-shirt, T-shirts will be on sale that day there too.
Oh, good. Good. Do you have one handy you could show us by chance? just curious.
Yeah, I don't. One of my daughters said she knows it's coming on with you today. She says, make sure you put your Aquarium Museum T-shirt on, and I didn't put it on, Joe. Sorry.
Listen to your daughter; she knows.
Listen to your kids. Once in a while, they know what they're talking about.
Well, next time. Anything else we should let folks know about right now? Do you think, Al?
No, that's about it. Like I say, I do appreciate this Zoom, and it's been an experience. It's been a learning experience for me, Joe. Just trying to get on this Zoom with you. It's been an experience. If these people only knew what it took for me to get on to do a Zoom with you. They'd appreciate this,
Well, I am honored to be your very first Zoom interview. I'm sure you'll be Zooming all over the place now.
Yeah, Joe. Thanks again. Again, it's always a pleasure to be on with you. And like I say, we always do get a little bump when we're on QATV. We always do get a little bump. So we thank you for that.
I'm glad to be able to help. Speaking of, what's the website?
Website is just QuincyQuarryMuseum.org. And all our information is on there. In fact, the opening in September here is on that. And what we'll be doing, we'll be putting the October schedule on also. Okay,
great.
So if anybody misses this one in September, we'll be doing the exact same thing in the month of October for Archaeology Month.
All right. Sounds good. So good to see you, Al. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can do it in person next time.
Joe, it's always great being with you again. Thank you again.
And leave us with your two famous sayings.
So we're chipping away at it, but don't take anything for granted.
All right. Thanks a lot, Al.
See you later, Joe.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thanks.
Special thanks to Al Bina from the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum. Thanks to our crew, and thank you for watching. And a reminder to please participate in the Quincy COVID Memories Project by submitting your photos, your videos, your artwork, or any other experiences of your life in Quincy during the pandemic. Just go to quincyculturalmemory.com, or you can send your submissions to the Thomas Crane Public Library, attention Local History, 40 Washington Street, Quincy, 02169. And please visit our newly redesigned website, qatv.org. You'll find all of our latest programs, news, and information. We'll find video on demand, live streaming, and information about online classes. For all of us here at Quincy Access Television, I'm Joe Catalano. Please stay safe.